The legendary AK-47 assault rifle was invented by Mikhail Kalashnikov, a former Red Army tank mechanic. Born a simple farm boy in the harsh Siberian region of Russia, his early life of hardship instilled in him the belief that things must be tough to survive. This principle became the defining characteristic of his weapon. Mikhail Kalashnikov wasn't born to design the most famous rifle in the world. He was from a large peasant family in Siberia, a region known for its harsh cold and tough living. This early life of resilience taught him the crucial lesson that would define his weapon. Things must be tough to survive. Before we continue, if you're really interested in these topics, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps us grow and lets us bring you more great stories, reviews, and hunting insights. By the time World War II exploded onto the Russian landscape, Kalashnikov was a young man serving in the Red Army as a tank mechanic. This job was perfect for him. He had a natural gift for understanding how machines worked and how to keep them running perfectly, even in mud, snow, or extreme heat. In October 1941, during the brutal Battle of Bryansk, the young sergeant was badly wounded by a German shell and taken off the battlefield. It was during his long recovery in the military hospital that the idea for the AK-47 truly began. Lying in bed, he spent hours talking to his fellow wounded soldiers. Their conversations were full of bitter complaints about their standard rifles, which were often too long, too heavy, too complicated, and worst of all, unreliable in the freezing mud and dirt of the front line. As Kalashnikov later recalled, "Our soldiers often had two complaints. Their guns jammed in the mud, and they didn't shoot fast enough." This powerful realization changed his focus. If he couldn't fight on the tank, he would use his mechanical genius to create a dependable tool to help every Russian soldier fight better. From his hospital bed, Mikhail Kalashnikov began sketching ideas for a new kind of weapon, one that would combine simplicity, reliability, and power. He wanted something any soldier could use, whether trained or not, whether in snow, desert, or jungle, and something that would never fail when lives depended on it. In 1942, still recovering from his wounds, he began working on prototypes at a small railway workshop. The early designs were crude, but his idea was revolutionary. A gas-operated automatic rifle that could fire intermediate cartridges smaller and lighter than a full rifle round, but more powerful than a pistol's. This concept wasn't entirely new. The Germans had introduced the G44, the world's first true assault rifle during the war. But Kalashnikov's design took the idea further. It was simpler, tougher, and easier to produce. The creation of the AK-47. By 1946, Kalashnikov had joined a team of Soviet engineers at the Izhevsk arms factory. After years of testing, redesigning, and refinement, his masterpiece emerged. The Avtomat Kalashnikova, 1947, or simply AK-47. It was a marvel of engineering minimalism. Only 8 moving parts, each oversized and rugged. It could be dropped in mud, frozen in ice, or soaked in water and still fire. Soldiers could field strip it, take it apart, and reassemble in less than a minute, often blindfolded. When the Soviet Army officially adopted it in 1949, it quickly became the standard infantry weapon, and within a decade, it was spreading far beyond Russia's borders. The AK-47 didn't just become a rifle, it became a symbol. Through the Cold War, the Soviet Union supplied AKs to allied nations, liberation movements, and revolutionary groups across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Cheap to make, easy to train with, and nearly indestructible, it was the perfect weapon for any army or militia. Factories began producing licensed and unlicensed copies around the world. China made the Type 56, East Germany had the MPIK, Egypt, the Mahdi, and Finland created the Valmet. RK-62. By the 1982, more than 70 million AK-type rifles existed worldwide. Today, estimates put the number at over 100 million, roughly one for every 80 people on Earth. The AK's design philosophy. The AK-47 wasn't the most accurate or the longest-range rifle. Its real genius lay in its balance of firepower and simplicity. It fires the 7.62x 39mm round, powerful enough to stop an enemy at close range, yet controllable in automatic fire. Its loose tolerances, the spaces between parts, allow sand, mud, and snow to pass through without jamming. It can be buried for years, dug up, cleaned briefly, and still fire perfectly. That ruggedness made it not just a weapon, but a cultural icon. It appeared on national flags like Mozambique's, rebel banners, and even military medals. For many, it symbolized resistance and independence. For others, chaos and violence. But no matter the side, it was the gun that changed modern warfare. As the decades passed, the AK evolved. The original milled steel receiver gave way to stamped metal, making production faster and cheaper. Later came the AKM, lighter and easier to manufacture. Then the AK-74, chambered in 5.45x 39mm, offering higher accuracy and less recoil. Even after the fall of the Soviet Union, Kalashnikov's creation lived on. New models like the AK-103, AK-12, and AK-15 integrated modern materials, polymers, rails for optics, folding stocks while keeping the same mechanical heart. Today, it's used by more than 100 countries, from Russia to Venezuela, from India to Egypt. Even Western soldiers in Afghanistan and Iraq have used captured AKs, often preferring them for reliability in dusty environments. Kalashnikov's legacy. Mikhail Kalashnikov remained humble throughout his life. He never profited from his invention in the Soviet system. His design belonged to the state. He received medals, honors, and respect, but no royalties. In his later years, he often expressed regret that his creation had caused so much death, saying, "I designed it to protect the motherland." It was the politicians who turned it into an instrument of terror. Kalashnikov died in 2013, at the age of 94, in Izhevsk, the city where his legendary rifle was born. But his creation endures a mechanical symbol of both human ingenuity and the dual-edged nature of invention. Modern uses and cultural impact. Today, the AK-47 isn't just a weapon, it's part of global culture. It's featured in movies, video games, and music as the archetypal assault rifle. In Africa and the Middle East, it remains a standard weapon for both state armies and insurgents. In America and Europe, semi-automatic civilian versions are used for sport shooting and historical collecting. The brand Kalashnikov concern, still based in Izhevsk, produces modern variants and exports them globally. Despite countless attempts to replace it, no firearm has achieved its mix of durability, simplicity, and identity. The rifle that changed the world. The AK-47 is more than metal and wood. It's a story of a man's will to help his comrades, born from the ruins of war. It's a design so perfect in purpose that it has endured for nearly 8 decades with little need for change. From the frozen fields of Siberia to deserts of Africa and jungles of Vietnam, the AK-47 has become the most recognizable firearm on Earth, not because it's beautiful, but because it works. And perhaps that's exactly what Mikhail Kalashnikov intended. I wanted to invent a weapon that would protect my country. I never wanted it to be a symbol of aggression. It's the politicians who are to blame, not the designer. Mikhail Kalashnikov lived long enough to see his invention spread across the planet, painted on flags, printed on t-shirts, worshipped and feared in equal measure. But he never profited from it. He received medals, honors, and respect, but no riches. In his later years, he spoke often about regret. Letters from victims' families reached his home, asking how he could sleep knowing how many lives his rifle had taken. He would answer quietly, almost defensively, "I made it to defend my country." It's the politicians who turned it into an instrument of terror. He believed his design represented protection, not destruction. But the world had taken his creation and given it its own meaning. And that meaning, even in 2025, is still being written on battlefields every single day. Technology has given us weapons of extraordinary precision, guided missiles, invisible drones, automated defense systems that can think faster than soldiers. But AK-47 remains, because it doesn't just function, it connects us to something raw, something unfiltered, something human. It reminds us that progress in machines means nothing without progress in morality. That invention without reflection always comes with a cost, and that the most powerful tools we create are only as noble as the hands that hold them. 8 decades after it was born, the AK-47 still shapes the way we fight and the way we think about conflict itself. It's a weapon that refuses to die, because the idea behind it, survival, simplicity, reliability, refuses to die too. The AK-47 has outlasted empires, governments, and even ideologies. It's more than steel and wood. It's a reminder of what humanity can create and what it struggles to control. In 2025, as artificial intelligence commands drones in the sky and digital soldiers wage invisible wars, somewhere far away from all that technology, a soldier still grips an old rifle that has never failed him. And maybe that's the haunting truth of our time. If progress built smarter weapons but not wiser hearts, what kind of future are we really aiming for?